Hey crafty friends, welcome to my channel. I didn't actually plan on doing a video today. However, I am home a little earlier than I am typically from visiting with my grandson today. He ended up going down for a nap, and he usually naps for at least a couple hours or so, but he went down later afternoon, which was a perfect time for me to head for home. It's a bit of a commute. It takes me 45 to 50 minutes to get to their place, so I wanted to beat the traffic here in the lower mainland in British Columbia, because it can get pretty congested. That said, here I am home with a couple hours before dinner, and it's a leftover night because, as you might remember, I mentioned that I made some nice chicken dinner, and it was scrumptious, but it also means leftover night. I don't have to cook anything, and those are my favorite nights. I do enjoy cooking, but I do enjoy a leftover night too. Okay, let's get back to this little junk mail thingamajig, whatever it's going to be. It'll be something in the end, I'm sure. So we left off with, I guess, decorating up the front and the front pocket envelope. We cut the envelope in half. I think I had done this before I decided to do the video, but we glued the side, and we tucked in a little tag. Little tag was hiding on me here. I think there's two. Okay. Well, we'll see. I don't know what I'll do with the front of it just yet, but I think it looks kind of nice like that. The torn and tattered is very much my vibe. I love doing torn and tattered, so perfection is not my thing. When I'm doing journals, like full-on multiple signature journals, yeah, I tend to be a little more careful, but this is just too fun. I just love not being careful. So let's keep going here. So this, I've noticed, is a little bit flimsy. I don't like that part of I don't want it to fall apart. So I'm just going to take, I see a couple offcuts that I inked up, and they just happen to fit. So I'm going to put them here for extra strength, mostly for the corner, but also to bring in some extra continuity. So let's do that. So it was good to catch you guys yesterday and do this. Felt a little inspired to do some more craft-alongs. I haven't done very many, but I'm going to try to start doing more. So you see, this is a cardstock printable, so it's nice and sturdy. And I used some of it here and here. I collaged with it. I think I have some left over yet. So let's put it like that. You see how it just kind of goes? And it strengthens the corner of the very fragile envelope that I coffee dyed. And when you coffee dye, you're going to get your envelopes or your paper is going to be a little more fragile than what you originally start out with. But you know what? Isn't that what makes our journals and crafty projects scrumptious? Is the coffee dye, the rattling of the paper, I just love it. It just really adds to a vintage vibe. And so many of you make vintage projects, and they're so beautiful. There's just something extra special. Okay, so let's see. I do have some tag inserts from previous projects and whatnot that I want to use for sticking in here. So let's put my pin back on. So I'm liking the looks of these two little critters. I love the red numbers. Let's see how it's going to look inside the envelope. Oh yes. Yes, I like that. You see the numbers? I again apologize for the glare, but that looks perfect. I like it. All right, and this looks like another tag. So let's see, what do I want beside this guy? Well, here's a nice old looking page that I backed something off-cutty on the back. Added a little tag tab. That's kind of okay. So let's open it up. Now we can tuck something in here now that we've strengthened that corner, and it'll I think hold better. So I think we did this yesterday. I like how the blue kind of is brought in by the part of the collaged cover. So I'm going to stick this tag in this part backwards, because when I flip it over, I want to be able to see the front of it. But I also want to have something facing this way. So that looks like it tucks in perfectly. I like it. So there we have it. I think I might cut the burlap down a bit. Okay, so that's good. I don't mind it sticking out like that. So there we have it. Flap is complete. Some cute little tags. Okay, so opening it up, I did just grab, I thought, okay, I'm going to just grab a bunch of papers. I think I showed you some yesterday, but I added a few more. So we'll go through it. This is going to be the signature we're going to sew in. So I glued the back of this part to the back of the signature. So we'll go through it. There's another envelope. I just inked it. I didn't do anything special at this point because I want to be able to decide yet how do I, will I glue it here and have a side? Oh, I like that idea too. We'll see. We'll see. So some of my pages here, the beekeeping page, some graph copy dyed. Yeah, so you've pretty much seen these. I think I added this for a middle signature page. I like this page right there. It adds lots of variety. Okay, so let's just sew this right in. Just going to use my little paper clips. I looked through it as I flipped just now, and I'm pretty pleased with how the pages are placed. So we're just ready to go. Yep, okay, let's do it. So I haven't done anything with this flap yet. I want to leave myself an option to maybe glue an extra page to this. I don't know yet. I might just glue it down like that and leave this as a flip out. We'll see. But I don't have to decide at this moment, so we won't. All right, it might be a pain and get in my way, but we'll find out. I just want to make sure the signature is in the middle and it looks and feels good. You know what I need to do? Wasn't thinking. I need to paper clip this to my actual cover. So let's do that. Just so that the pages stay where you want them to. This is a floppy envelope, so I'm going to get that down there. There we go. Perfect. Do you guys do these? Have you guys done the pamphlet stitch? It's so simple. All right. Feels sturdy. Hopefully this is making some sense to you newbies out there. Okay, so this is where I take my pokey tool. It's actually an awl. I have several. I have the bulby end ones too, but this works perfectly fine. So I'm just going to do a real shoddy job here. It's going to look good, but I don't need to do any measuring or whatnot, because this is just a basic single little signature. And the more you do these, you'll find you won't need to do all the measuring that we would typically need to with a multiple signature journal. So I'm going to go right in and start my little stitch here. Now I like to use this little rubbery pull, especially since I've creamed my hands. Oh my goodness, it's hard to pull the needles through sometimes. But this thing is absolutely wonderful. I have 2 or 3 kicking around. So again, when you're doing your pamphlet stitch, just make sure you bring the tail through. Hopefully I'm in view here, and it looks like I am. So I'm going to pull this just gently, but nevertheless, I'm going to pull this away from the hole so I don't sew through the thread. Now this is waxed thread. It's a really good waxed thread, and I don't think I've ever put the needle through and split the thread, so it's not really a big deal. But if you're using embroidery thread, I find it's a bit finicky in my opinion, and you can, I think, more easily split the thread, so you have to be careful when you're putting it through. All right, so pulling it through the third hole. It's always a good feeling when I just want to make sure. I'm going to maybe just give it a bit more space here. I want this tail to be longer. Sometimes you have to play with it. Okay, that's perfect. I won't need any more than that. So you hang on to the little tail, leave a little bit at the bottom of the needle, and then I just slide it under gently so you don't rip the paper by poking your needle through. And I didn't leave much of a tail here. I normally would have a much longer tail, but because it's just a simple little signature, I'm just going to tie my knot to it right here like this. Normally, guys, keep your tail much longer than I did. But this will be just fine. I'm going to pull this with... Now, note to self, don't cream your hands before you do a video where you're going to be sewing in a signature, because my hands are a little slippery. And when you're all thumbs to begin with, oh, it's okay. I like a good challenge. Oh my goodness, is this ever a small piece of thread here? Not the way I would typically do it. So don't do what you're seeing. Do what I'm saying. Make sure you have enough thread to pull. But I'm going to make this work by hook or by crook. Sorry, you guys, it's going to work here. I know it. Come on. All right. Now, okay, save the day. Okay, off go the paper clips. Let's see if we, in fact, got this on properly. And I think we did. Don't really need this long tail here, so let's give it a snip. So because this one's short, I'm going to keep this one short too on the other side. Perfect. Perfect, perfect. Nice and snug. Okay. All right, that part's done. So we'll do another flip through. So that's front inside cover. This little offcut, some craft paper, an envelope with an option to figure out how we're going to make the pocket. Some more journaling spots. So this is a printable. This side's white, of course, but this is, I don't know if you can see it. It's sort of like already had a copy stained hue to it, so I just left it. And there we are. See how you can just make a little tiny journal out of nothing? Okay, so now let's see, what should we do? Part of me is tempted. I think what I'm going to do, you know what, I'm going to glue this to here. And then this can just be the flip out. Yeah, I'm going to just simplify it. So let's do that right now. Yeah. Or, sorry guys, hang on here. I told you my process isn't quick. Yeah. Okay. Let's just do it. I covered it for nothing. Yeah, that's okay. That's okay. There's just so many different variations of options that really, you can never go wrong. You can't go wrong. And I didn't really want to make this too intense. I've done in previous videos so many different flipperooey projects. A couple years ago I did a Christmas one. You can look back on my videos if you want, or maybe I'll find it and I'll link it at the bottom of this video. Have a gander through it. It's a file folder, and it's 25 Days of Christmas. There are so many flaps. I actually got a lot of compliments on that, and people set out to do it. I'm not saying that mine was the only or the first one, by no means, but I just got playing and playing and playing, and it became quite a beautiful project that I put out every Christmas, and inside every pocket was something like. But anyways, if you're interested, check it out. Maybe you'll feel inspired to make your own. Okay, so the flip out card for now, I think we'll just leave. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it yet. The other thing, so what I did with the offcuts of the signature, because if I was just going to use the regular height of the pages, it would have been too tall. So these are the offcuts. So you want to keep your offcuts, because you're going to find lots of ways to use these, especially in your collaging. So do we want to do another page? Let's see. You know what? I like this sassy gal. We're going to use Sassy right there. She's adorable. Oh my goodness. And you know what? To keep it a little simple, which I think is good to do sometimes. Where is my... Where did it go? My coffee stain stencil. I was just using it. Ah, yes. I don't know how you can have something. Well, of course I do. And so do you guys. You have something in your hand and suddenly it's gone. Interesting. Oh, well, then we won't do it. For now, we'll just do a little pocket. What do we want to use for her pocket? We want to bring in some continuity there. But it's not a tall enough pocket. Let's see. We could. Oh, I know. This is it. Oh yeah, this is it. We're doing it. I liked this little wallpaper offcut. And it has some nice, it's got some matchability to the other side of the page. I do take that into consideration, as I'm sure most of you do too. Well, let's first cut it, and I don't ever put anything up against a crease, just to avoid the bulk, and you want it to close nicely, so I might use my pencil here. So a good rule of thumb is, if you're unsure of exactly the width, don't cut it too short to start. You can always cut it shorter, but you can't cut it bigger. So, and there we go. I think I'm just going to make this side round. Hopefully this is going to fit. Ooh, it's borderline. Well, we're going to fix that real quick. Take your scissors and chop this one side down. Give it another little corner round. I do this all the time. If it doesn't fit, I cut it to fit. All right, I'm going to do a little bit of inking. You know what? I'm going to do both sides, especially because both of this whole thing is, I used my corner round, so I'm going to use it like that. So that's going to be borderline. So we're going to cut her down a bit more. Sorry, Miss Sass. Give it a little more ink. Now let's see. Yep, she'll go in there. That's better. If I make sure that I just go right around the very outer edge. The less glue that takes up space, the better in this situation where I'm barely leaving myself enough room to put that tag in. Let's see if it's going to work. If not, she's going to be cut shorter yet. I have a feeling I'm going to have to cut her. Oh, look at that. Yay. She fit, she fit. All right, so you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take my whale tail just for some, or do I want a brown one? Oh, you know what? We're going brown. I'm just going to use this offcut. And my favorite punch, the whale tail. We all like a whale tail tab. Before I glue it, I'm going to just give it a look. I like that. Yep. Let us do it. Oops. So my grandson is the sweetest little guy ever. I didn't see Colin, like I mentioned before. He was in school and he's with his mom and stepdad for the rest of the week and weekend. But anyways, Walker is just such a gem. He's funny. He never complains. He's the happiest little guy, I think, on the planet. Of course, I'm sure all you grandparents say that. But he really is a content little boy. So full of personality. So fun. I get out there at least once a week. Thursday is usually my day with him. Okay, so that looks good. I'm liking it. Could probably put something here, but today, maybe for today, ooh, should we do a belly band? Just to bring in? Or should I do that? Or should I do that? Endless possibilities. Yes, indeed. That's kind of cool, actually. But I also like this idea. See how that brings the craft paper in? I feel like I might do that. But you know what? Because I'm not certain, I'm going to keep on going. I love a large tag, and I think if I glue the top and I put in a side tag, oh my goodness, that's it. I got to do it. I am really, I do like to use very large journaling tags. I just find you could cut to size from anything you have. You just measure it, make sure it fits in. And the more journaling spots, the better, right? And maybe because I already have a top loader, which I stuck down when I did my signature. Yeah. So let's do a tag together right now. Why not? I don't know what tag I'm going to do or make or what, but let's do it. And then maybe after I finish the tag, I'll call this a day just because it's later on in the day. And I could do a few things before dinner. So let's see. Well, we want one that's long. So I'm going to grab, excuse me 1 second, I'm going to grab one of my printables that are sitting around here. Okay, let's see. Ooh. Okay, look at this. Look at this gem. A document style card with lots of writing, which would look beautiful in the window. I like the blend of the color of paper. Okay, we're doing it. Now, which do I want? I'm going to cut it You know what? I'm not even using a ruler here. As you can see, I'm just going to cut just to make sure how deep I want it. I don't want it too much sticking out here because I'm going to have a couple of tabs probably. In the long envelopes, I like to use a couple of different tabs. Okay, so I am going to cut probably, I like that number. I may not be able to save it, but oh, that number would fit. Oh dear, let's try to save it. So I'm going to see if this is going to work here. I probably should just ruler tear it, but I'm not. Okay, I have cut so many pages down. Okay, that might work perfectly. So I'm going to cut, because this has a little, like that number. Okay, let's cut here. And I don't want it to just fit. I want it to go in nice and, no, gotta cut it down yet. So we're gonna take some of this wording off, letters. And one more from this side. And I think we're gonna be good to go. I wanna make sure. Yeah, look at that. Oh, good. Oh, good. Okay. So what I'm going to do, what I find, I don't know if you guys do, what I find, maybe I will cut a little bit more. I don't like struggling to put my tags in, but I'm going to corner round. I find the rounded corners slip into pockets and whatnot a little easier, depending on what pocket you're making. Look at that. Look at that. I love it. Okay, so we got the writing right there. That's perfect. So now I'm going to make a couple tabs, and we are going to use, let's see, I could probably bring some of this in. Do I have any? Let's see, let's see, let's see. I think I do. Well, you know what? I'm going to use, yeah, I'm going to use, I think, okay. I guess it doesn't really matter. But I do want a bit of contrast here. Well, maybe, yeah. So I need to cut 4 because I double it. So I'm going to use this tag here. See, look at that writing. And I will use, ooh, look at this writing. Okay. All right, we're good. All right, so let's glue them together. Maybe I'll show you also what I like to do. I like to use eyelets. I wonder. Because at the end of the day, maybe this little fun project is going to end up in another giveaway. You never know. So I want to do a good job on it. So I'm going to just glue here. Whoops, sorry. So put it maybe, it's a nice long journaling card, so I certainly don't have to, oh, look at that. Oh my goodness, that number is just, you guys, thanks for hanging out, watching me do stuff on the fly. It's a different thing for me to do it this way instead of just showing you my finished projects. But that's okay. As long as you're interested, I'll do it. Let's glue that up here and needle it. Okay. Don't you love it? I do. I apologize if I am not in frame. Oh my, better pay attention to that. Kind of just too excited here. Okay, we're good. Now I didn't ink it. Well, okay. Okay, I will. Might as well. I'll find that the inking part does just highlight it. I won't ink the other side. I'll do that off camera. All right, let's see. Oh, don't you just think that's wonderful? Look at that. I just love it. It looks so cute. Okay. I don't know if cute's the right word, but maybe I'll do the eyelets off camera, or maybe I won't do eyelets. Not sure yet, so I'm not going to make that decision just yet. Now, I could collage with you. Look at these beautiful, see these beautiful pieces? Oh my. These are the kinds of offcuts you don't want to throw out. But you know what? I have these as well that I kept from the signature itself. So we're doing it. We're going to do that right now. I'm going to do this a little quickly. Oh, it's already stained, so I'll do it this way. I'm just going to do it and give you guys the gist of some ideas that you can do for your collaging. And then I'll do a lot of the inking off camera. I've always felt that watching people ink is like watching paint dry, so even though I've been doing that in front of you here. Okay, so we got that piece there. Let's do something patterny. Let's use this. Let's do it. Let's do it sideways. Yep, let's do it. Okay. Grab my ruler. And I don't necessarily, I'm going to just tear it. Kind of like all these little pieces. I'll tear some of them off. All right. What did I do? Oh yeah, this way. No, you know what? I'm going to have to do a little bit of cutting these little pieces off. I'm going to give it a little corner round. There, see, sometimes it fits better in my opinion. So I didn't want to cover much of that number, so that's going to go on top. So I want to finish this part before I put this down. It's a little too much blending of the same color palette here, so let's get some book page. That's cool. I like the images. So we're going to maybe bring the word portion right down. Make sure I'm not at the window. And there we go. So I'm going to just kind of can eyeball it. And do the touch-ups after. Okay, so let's see. Well, we got an off cut here. Maybe we can use it at the top. I like that. Not everything has to be straight across either. I do like the edge to be cut straight if it's on a, you know, an edge of the surface that you're working with. I kind of like how it dips down there, but I am going to cut this a bit straighter, tear this piece off, and I'm going to ink. Sorry, I'm going to ink it. Little pieces are okay to ink because it don't take very long. But when people have, or when I have to ink around an entire page, it's long. It takes too long. That's cute. I like it because it brings here in. We're going to do it. Oh, my big fat head isn't getting in this frame here. All right, so let's see. Glue this down. So I have to keep standing up because this is such a wonky size that I want to make sure it's in frame. I want to get this little corner down. Okay, let's see. Do I want some more book page? That's kind of nice. I'm not minding the image at all. No, too much. I want something a little plainer. That might be okay because it's got a little bit of the green, or do I want more green? Well, I kind of don't mind that, to be quite honest. But it's got to look okay with this. Oh, you know what? Oh my goodness. Okay. I think I'm liking that. Some of you are going, no. Sometimes it's a matter of getting it finished and having a good eye's view once it's all collaged and put together. So we'll see. And you know what? I can always glue over top of my change of plan type ideas. See, I like it though. I kind of do. It's a little straight edge there, so we're going to give it a bit of a tear. Aren't we strange people? Carefully tearing up paper and... Okay, let's glue it down. I'm finding that because I'm doing a video, I am going a lot faster than I normally do. Do I need to? You guys, let me know. Am I going too fast for you? I don't want to give anybody migraine or headache or, you know, I don't want to be disturbing, I don't know. I don't want to be anything less than a calm video here, but I feel like I'm working way too fast. I probably could slow it down, that's for sure. All right, so I'm going to have to get this little corner down. I have this thing. I need to get corners stuck down. All right, let's see. And I think this is going to add just a nice little finishing touch. I like it. All right, let's do it. Let's get her down. So as you can see, I am literally just using, you know, torn up offcuts, and I'm also tearing up more of the torn up offcuts. But that's because that's what we do. You want to get rid of your junk and whatnot, but we end up making more junk. But then that just means we get to make more projects. I don't know. I'm not sure I like this line here. I should have done that a little differently. And this isn't glued down here. The other thing too, I did want to use some cardstock for this envelope. But if you just use copy paper, it tears and rips and glues so much quicker and is lighter. So it's oftentimes easier to work with, but this is okay. I think it turned out okay. I think I'm gonna have to put something there. I'm not digging that part. I could either put a ribbon. Look at that. How is it this color matches? I could put this little ribbon there. No. Or I could put, oh yeah, I could do something like that. And I like this little hoofer thing. We're going to do it. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. Oh, then I'm covering the flower, but that's okay. I could probably make it a little less wide, which is what I think I'll do. Let me just tear this a bit. Okay, let's see. Yep, it's gonna work, I think. I think. Yeah, okay, we're gonna do it. See what I mean? I don't know if you can see, or if you're with me on doing this little part there, but do you see what I mean by that? Something just isn't looking right. And so we got to fix that. Okay, Mama's satisfied. I think I'm liking that. Get rid of these bits and bobs here. I mean, what I could do, I can't leave well enough alone. I just can't. I could put, I'm probably not. I'm probably just, no, I'm going to leave it as is. I'm going to take my little inker, give it a little bit of a brush, just to finish it off. So that's it. I'll see what we accomplished today in this, what? I don't know how long. Let's see how long this video has been. 44 minutes. Oh my goodness. I did not anticipate taking that long. Okay, so this is what we got so far. We got a nice little tag in the window. I've got two, but for now I'll just leave the one like that. We open it up. We've sewed in the signature. We got little Miss Sass here. Little tag, tuck. Still, there's all kinds of things to do that we could do to embellish, which we will. in the next video. But here's the nice card, journaling card. It goes in this old envelope with the little tabs sticking out that I absolutely love. Turn the page and then the rest is that. So I'll pull this out because I want to see those tabs. Just love those tabs. So this is it. Thanks guys for today. This is all I've got, and I will catch up with you probably tomorrow morning. I'm out in the afternoon, but hopefully I can do a little craft with me in the morning sometime. Okay, thank you so much, everybody. Have a wonderful evening. Bye.